today we have awesome Deborah. I was just thinking it's very hard to, make a change from non-IT to Salesforce Marketing Cloud, but she has set the right example and she's lovely. I just don't want to reveal more secrets about Deborah, but she's working as an email coordinator and, email specialist with Signature Consultants. The stage is yours, Deborah. We just would love to hear more from you.
Thank you, Lakshma. I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for welcoming me to your group and inviting me to speak. I am so excited about being a part of the Marketing Cloud um, group. If a lot of people are new to Marketing Cloud, you may not realize the great community that is out there and people that give of their time and energy without getting paid to help other people to learn. And so when you're new to a whole new career, that is so important because you might be going right to the internet and searching a new opportunity. And when you're able to find people that give you a direction, give you energy, give you that um, extra jolt to know that this is a great career to be a part of. That's what I found with Salesforce and Marketing Cloud. Um, I had an interview that introduced me to an opportunity to use Marketing Cloud, and I had been introduced to Salesforce a year prior and was working to learn to be a Salesforce administrator. And so I was familiar a little bit with Marketing Cloud, and I knew that it was, connected in some way. And so I went to the internet, of course, to research, more about Marketing Cloud. And I got very lucky. I found people in the community that, had things on YouTube. I found things about it where I could research and be able to go to my interview confident. And I think confidence is a huge thing when you are going to an interview. First of all, any interview, even if it's in the same career, if you are confident and you're able to talk to your managers that are interviewing you, um, then you can present yourself a lot better. And for Marketing Cloud, I had to admit, no, I have not learned Marketing Cloud in depth yet. So the the biggest part of my interview was on my transferable skills. And so I was able to relate, yes, I will be able to research and learn Marketing Cloud on the job. And also, I was passionate about learning it. And I think passion and confidence are huge. If you're excited about doing something, then you're definitely going to be able to work with other people, learn, and be able to, um, really, dig in. And so ultimately, I was hired, and so I was able to, keep going on that journey of learning Marketing Cloud. There is a great Salesforce training that I signed up for. It's called Salesforce New Marketers. And I was able to also um, take that class while I was working. They really wanted to know, while I was digging in deep and learning, what else I can do in the meantime while I am still you know, carrying myself with the company. So a lot of the things that I was able to bring is I had taken a look at my entire career. So you are more than just one job. You bring your entire self and your wisdom. Um, I brought my passion to the job. I brought my research skills. So I knew if there was something that I needed to research, I had in my background, the ability to look things up, take notes, and be really able to address any type of situation. I also had a desire to learn. And so that meant that I could, keep going, no matter the issue, I could reach across the aisle and talk to who I needed to and ask those questions. I had great problem solving skills that I was bringing in, and analytical reasoning. I also had critical thinking skills that I brought in. So I really am able to, learn a whole new um, um, career and be able to be excited about it. And in the meantime, I was able to um, add value to the employer, and that's important to them. What can I bring to the employer while I am also learning in the new career? I had leadership skills and also teamwork. One of my positions that I used to work in was in the newspaper business, and I really loved the communication and coordinating with the writers, coordinating with the news team, the graphic designers. So in the position I was in, I felt at home and I could work to coordinate with them. Attention to detail. I love, looking at things, digging in, and observing. If there is something that I notice that doesn't look right, I'm able to bring that up because I, have that attention to detail. Relationship building, being able to network with others, being able to ask those questions, to learn something new, to build friendships. I think that's great about the Salesforce community and Marketing Cloud. One of the videos that I saw was 12 hours of learning, and it was a boot camp that was, everyone produced a whole hour, and I was able to, watch that and, be able to reach out to people and say thank you for that amazing opportunity to learn. People just share, and it's awesome. Communication. I love being able to make friends and relationships at work. Being able to know, all the different people in each um, different area at work. You can definitely be able to, talk to them. If something comes up, then you can just, ask them, send an email, send a text, be able to reach out and have that communication. And definitely, as one manager explained to me, go ahead and make those key appointments with people. You can make your own meetings and, just check their schedule and go ahead and make that appointment with them to go over key things that you had questions on. Oops. Writing. I was a writer for 5 years and loved it. So I love interviewing people. I'm very curious. I love being able to just open myself up, have a list of questions, and really, understand, you know, what the feature would have been, and really be able to put that together and get to know people. And also, I reached out and ask different people if they'd be interested in what I was writing about. And so I think that key skill is just that whole interpersonable relationship building. And writing really helps. In email marketing, you want to be able to have clear communication. And so any writing ability that you have is a great thing that you can carry into any job. Listening skills. You definitely want to be able to listen more than you talk sometimes. So, they always say, listen and just really bring yourself to be able to understand, comment if you have questions, and just let them feel heard. And then follow up with your questions after they have, been talking. So, that way you show that you care and that you're actually listening to them. Creativity, you bring your creativity to any job you have. You know, on my hobby side, I love to do mosaic work. I love, to write. I love to just be able to do all kinds of fun things, rock hunting. So you bring that energy into your work also, and be able to have so many ideas. And, I think don't feel afraid to reach out and bring that creativity to work with you and be able to share that part of you. Computer skills is always important with Marketing Cloud. You definitely are going to be using the Salesforce sometimes for reporting if they have Salesforce as the CRM, and then you're able to make reports. So lots of computer skills, that you can bring to the table while you're, changing careers. Management. There have been times where I was assistant manager at my newspaper. Back in the old days, like I rose up to be able to manage the people that I worked with, and have everything um, be on time. You just really learn detail work, that communication with others, working with them. So management skills is so important that you can bring into Marketing Cloud. So there are so many skills that you just bring to any job, and especially Marketing Cloud. It is such a fun software to learn, and I think being able to work with the emails, the content builder, the email studio, the automation studio, being able to learn all the different areas in it and how it works, it definitely takes being able to um, talk to other people, ask questions, take your notes. I definitely learned note taking is so important. Even if you have a set of notes that someone else put together, it is way more beneficial to put it in your own writing, and have that um, ability to just keep trying, keep learning, and keep practicing. Repetition is key, and then it becomes second nature. And so, thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate everything you're doing in the community, and congratulations on helping so many people. So thank you.
Thanks, Deborah. Hey, I'm going to ask a question. What's the most awesome? You said you're into mosaics. What's the most awesome mosaic that you've ever done?
Oh goodness. So I had an opportunity to um, make something for a church. They were having a auction, and they were going to be opening up a whole nother church. And so I was writing an article about the art that they were doing. They were going to be putting together art, and so I volunteered to do an art piece. So, and like they were so nice about that, and so I did a cross, and I did the vines on it with some grape leaves on it, and then I did the background, and I used Italian smalty glass that back in Italy. It's just amazing glass. And so then there was the stones that made up the cross, and so it was just really fun. I did it super fast because of the deadline, but it was just gorgeous. And I had a really cool frame, and it's on this waterproof weddy board, they call it, where it's a foam board with concrete, and then it was in a stainless steel frame that I bought. And so I was able to just have this where they could put it anywhere in their bathroom or anything. So it was totally waterproof.
We've got a box of mosaic stuff, but it's hard. It's hard to get it right. Yeah.
Yes.
you look at it, you try and work it out, and you sit there staring at it, and I don't know, it just doesn't. Sometimes it's just so hard to make sense of it too. But I guess it's something you've got to spend time at and work it out.
Yeah, I think it's just like anything. You just, you keep at it and you keep learning. So that's one fun thing about, your passions. Like you keep at it till you keep learning more things.
Yeah, I love what you said about listening and that process that you go through. So just to recap what you said, I'm just making some notes, but listening is just so important. And listening, you're not talking. You don't need to be heard to be in somebody's presence. Quite often, you just need to listen to what people have got to say, because that's the purpose of a lot of meetings. It's the purpose of a lot of communication. We're facilitators, and I think a lot of what you said reminds me of so much of marketing. It's not, it's not just what we do now in Marketing Cloud, but it's our whole marketing background. We're helping to facilitate people to be able to communicate, and 100% everything you just walked through, I can relate all to that. But what you said about listening is just so important. Having that ability to listen, comment to guide the conversation, and then follow up with questions. It's just about understanding others. I love that bit that you said there.
Yes. Yeah, I think listening definitely is probably one of the top three skills that you could have, especially with communication. You want to know what people need, what people want. And really, marketing is what do people want? And we try to provide that in marketing, and listening transcends, marketing. It's, our human nature.
You said it's one of the top three. So what are the other two?
Well, I definitely think, being able to be personable with people, that relationship building, you definitely want to be able to, talk to other people and make the friendships within, where you work, where you live, with your neighbors, with your coworkers, with your clients, who are you selling to? You have to be able to, really feel like you're talking to them and really feel like they are heard. And so relationship building is, one of the top three. And I definitely think communication is, another top three. So, you can put that in your own order, but I definitely think, those all go hand in hand with just being a good person.
100%. I'm just reading through the comments there. Sounds like Lakshmi was thinking along the same lines.
Can I ask one?
Yes.
Yeah, Deborah, you were talking about some free YouTube tutorials about learning Salesforce Marketing Cloud, right?
Yeah.
It would be good if you can share those links to the people who joined or who will be watching this video afterwards.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, maybe
I
through
will
an
do
email.
that.
Yeah, if it is not okay now, then afterwards, so that we can share it via email to the participants.
Yeah, let me go ahead and stop sharing so you don't see like all my
Other tabs.
all my searching. But yeah, definitely I will share that. And then will they have access to this so then they can also go back and find those links?
Yeah, this recording will be shared.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes. And can I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
So I would love to know when you guys both heard of Marketing Cloud.
What? When means the time you're asking. I heard
Oh,
about
yes.
Marketing Cloud in 2016 or 17 for the first time. And what about Matt?
I learned about Marketing Cloud when it was Exact Target, and that was, I think, 2013. But I've been doing email marketing since the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I love what you said about marketing. It's not just about Marketing Cloud. It's about marketing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a lifelong passion of mine as well. It's not, I personally, I didn't plan on getting involved in Marketing Cloud. It's just something that happened. Yeah. What about you, Lakshmi? Did you plan on getting involved in Marketing Cloud, or how have you come about Marketing Cloud? What was the league?
I really don't know, Matt, but I was so curious when it was so secret, when now people started sharing about Marketing Cloud, but I started researching or digging down or asking people, and you were the first person in Melbourne whom I talked to, like in 2019, and then somehow I started understanding more and more, and then I just wanted to add value to what I learn or what I share. So I don't know when the door will be open, but yeah, I just don't want to stop learning or listening about Marketing Cloud.
That's cool. We started this group for that reason, because there was just no resources around, right back in 20 something or other, 2014, I think, when we started. So it's almost 10 years. It's awesome to see what's out there now. But we just couldn't find anything. I kicked it off with Elliot Harper. We just couldn't find anything at all. So let's do something. Hence Salesforce Marketing Cloud Dev Group. But it is about developer stuff more than sort of the user stuff. But it's all about marketing.
So there is someone called Hind. If you can unmute yourself and you can share your thoughts on Marketing Cloud, it would be good.
What I'll do is I'll just unmute everyone on the chat so that you can talk. Yeah. So I'll do that now. Just go through everyone. I'll start with you.
And Deborah, I have one more pointer for you. Like, if you are happy to share what you have learned or explored on Email Studio or the other things, maybe we would be like very lucky to see the things on the screen.
Um, yeah, I would love to go into that. So I use it at the work I'm at. I'm a contractor with American Equity, and so I'm lucky to be able to use it. And I work with another coworker where she was able to train me on how to use it. When you're working with Marketing Cloud, you're also working with the data. So she was able to really bring in, how is the data on the Salesforce side? How do they really use it? And so we have to understand that before we really make any kind of a list and and use a data extension. So she was able to show me how we're able to do some of the reports, what kind of fields that we pull in to make our audience. So knowing who the audience is, she was able to explain the different types of audiences that we have, and then being able to break it down. So she was able to show me on Email Studio how to make data extensions and be able to use some of our different types of data extensions, which is really an Excel spreadsheet, and then you turn it into a CSV. And so you're using some of those, and sometimes you need to have them automated. So we had some that were already automated, and then some we had to create. And so she was able to show me, and so she made up a document, and then I was able to go over the document, put it in step by step in my own words, which really helped break it down. And so, when we have a send, sometimes it's only a one-time send. So it could be to a certain audience. And so we need to be very specific. And we use Content Builder. We try to use some of the personalization terms in there. And then that way, when it gets sent out to the audience, then it has their first name on it. It has some of their key terms. So it really makes them feel like we're listening to them and we're talking directly to them. And then I've also had the opportunity to use Automation Studio, and I was able to be able to segment the audience and be able to then make it automated. So I've learned how to make some automation. So that's been really fun. So being able to do some journey building in Journey Builder, that has been really fun. That way, we build it and then we have phone calls that go to the sales team, and we really work together with the sales team. So we have that communication when we're creating journey builders where, you know, they are in touch with our audience. They are speaking to them daily. And so, they know what they need. And so that way we get that communication. Um, they decide, do they want a phone call? So then we're able to do a phone call task. How many days apart does an email need to maybe be resent, or do you want, 2 to 3 different emails? So they're really instrumental in putting together a journey campaign. And so that's been fun working with them as a team. Weekly, we're always on a call, trying to be updated on anything new that needs to, go out. Maybe they're focused on, something that we weren't aware of, and then we can quickly update our plans. So just really key to have that communication, being in touch with the sales team, because they're the ones that are in touch with our audience, and those are our clients. So it's been really fun. It's more than just a software. It's really knowing that you're personalizing things where it makes a difference to the client, and so that makes it even more fun to use.
You mentioned a few things there, data extensions, journey builder, automations. But one of the things about Marketing Cloud is that you can have this conversation that we just had. And because there's these components that are in the platform, it's actually very easy to understand what you're talking about. So, so it's not low level; it's sort of medium level. But a data extension is just a table. It's like a tab in an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
With a few other features, like but essentially that's what it is. And a journey is just it's just describing how things work. It's a flow, and it's saying this happens, this email gets sent here, and there's a decision, and it's a flow. It's about how it flows out. And it's a visual way of representing that and putting the components together. And I think the other one you mentioned there was an automation, and that's got a place too. It's about doing things like a program, but it's bringing components of things together to do them in a sequence. So
Mhm.
it's not rocket science. It's all, like you say, the purpose of this is transferable skills. Some of these things have funny labels, like data extension. Who would call a table a data extension except for Marketing Cloud? Uh, but
Yeah.
it is. But I have to smile at that sometimes. But because it is just a table. But demystifying it, so much of this stuff is just basic stuff that we know about. Would you agree?
Yes, when they make terminology that we don't use all the time, that can scare people away because they don't really know what it means. Like on the test when I was studying, they have Einstein copy insights. Well, in order to get that answer right, you need to know it's just about the subject lines and it's not really about the copy. So, it's like breaking apart, what the terms are and being able to express it to other people before they run away from Marketing Cloud. I think they, hear the word data extension and it sounds so weird, but it's really just an Excel spreadsheet, and then you turn it into save as CSV form, and then you're able to use that in Marketing Cloud. And a lot of people don't know what a CSV is, but you can literally just change it when you're saving it and save as CSV, and then it's usable in Marketing Cloud. And so when we talk about audiences, we're just talking about a list of people on an Excel spreadsheet that we're then saving it, and it really becomes less foreign than once you break it down into the easy parts. And like you said, a journey is really kind of just a flow. So, first you're sending an email and then you wait a couple days or one day, and then maybe you want to make a phone call and, did they do your task that you're hoping they'll do? And if they did, then you don't need to send another one. So it's just a list of questions that you can, decide within the flow, and it's automated, so you don't have to then go back. You just want to make sure it's running, and then if there's any changes, then you can later go in and change it. As long as everything's running, you can then do other parts of your job.
So true. Hey, we've got everyone's able to present. Has anyone got any questions, or maybe we'd like to continue that discussion about how we all came across Marketing Cloud, regardless of where we are in our journey, how we heard about it, or where we're at? We've got a few people on the call, but everyone's so shy. That's all good.
It's not about shy, Matt. It's about being unsure. Once they start asking questions, they will be appreciated, right? That's what I did. Even I was scared to ask my questions, but I would encourage everybody to unmute themselves and speak out. And I just want to add one more thing to what Deborah said about, either Marketing Cloud or the other clouds. When you understand what we are really doing within the cloud's walls, right, then definitely we feel comfortable of doing what we were asked to do on the job. This happened with me because I was so scared to do the trials on Sandbox as well. then I used to do that in my playground, and I used to ask my lead about review. He was very patient, and after a month of my playground feeds, and then he said, no, Lakshmi, you are supposed to do in Sandbox. We are not getting paid to do the trials on Trailhead Playground. Then it's just the support structure what you have within your org, wherever you find your employer, and if you have that helping hand to do the things, show the things, and share the things, then you're fine. Whether it is Marketing Cloud or any other cloud, that's okay. But just stay curious to what you enjoy learning, what you enjoy sharing. That's what I can say. And thanks, Deborah, for coming forward, for sure. All your transferable skills, I think every woman or every job seeker will be having, but they don't know how to segregate them and name them. And what you said, when the people are not responding, we need to give them a reminder call, or if they respond, we can leave them. We do it every day, right? Like, if I have a plumbing question, I need to call the plumber. If he comes, that's okay, I can leave his contact. If not, then I need to call him again to make another appointment, right? So this is what we do, but being a business, we do that in a frequent manner to the larger audience. So just understand what we are doing on the platform and just go for it. That's it.
Yes,
So,
and thank you
sorry.
for that. That is so important. Definitely being able to ask those important questions and being able to just not be afraid to, reach out and, make friends and see if, maybe they can help you with something. There's a lot of people that have great knowledge, and they can, be able to maybe help you out, and you meet new people in the meantime.
Yeah. Hi, Deborah. How are you?
Good,
Am I audible?
thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, mainly on the transferable skills. So I have only one question. So whenever, just now, Lakshmi also saying that when we are practicing more, that time we will get more confidence. Here for marketing cloud, the main thing where I can practice more. So that is the question. That is the area where I'm stucking and I'm thinking about. I love marketing cloud and I wanted to continue this, but the only thing is org where I can find it.
That's my question too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I even after I got this job, being able to use their platform, I sought out Salesforce because they came out with a new marketer class, and so I was able to have access to the org for 60 days. So they walk you through it with the Salesforce instructors, and so that's on. You can look on. Your trailhead and look at the classes that are available and look for the new marketers. And it's a first time ever that you're able to have access to Marketing Cloud and use the org. Otherwise, on Trailhead, they have pictures where you can walk through and practice. And then I also found there's someone out in the community, Kaylin Moss. He put together a free Marketing Cloud class also, and you don't get access to an org, but he takes a lot of videos of himself walking you through it. So either you can do it together, where if you have access, then you can do his projects, or you can just watch him go through the projects. And then also, there's so many YouTube videos out there that you can watch also. It is harder not having access to your own org um, for the software, but maybe find someone that has a dev org. Maybe reach out and ask someone, hey, does anyone have this available where you can practice together? Don't be afraid to keep reaching out and asking that great question.
It's a question that gets asked a lot. I'd be surprised if I don't hear that question at least once a week. And unfortunately, there's no dev org there. But if you're looking for a job in Marketing Cloud, and ultimately, I guess that's why a lot of us are here, is we want to be working in Marketing Cloud. Unfortunately, there's no dev access, there's no sandbox to play in. But have a look at some of the other platforms. It's like what Deborah was saying before. None of the stuff's foreign, like it's all transferable. So um, look at Mailchimp. Look at how to do HTML responsive email. There's lots of platforms where you can do that for free. There's one called MLJS. It's free to use. You can hook it up to your Gmail, and you can then have a look at how to do responsive email, which is just so important to understand how to write a responsive email. Having a skill about how to write a responsive email, the responsive HTML for email, that's a skill. It's not Marketing Cloud. Marketing Cloud's just a wrapper. So
Mhm.
SQL is another thing that's a big part of Marketing Cloud. That's what's used in the to organize the data extension that's used for a journey. It's used in the automations. So SQL, there's lots of places where you can do SQL online and learn about that. So if you can't use the platform, use things like it. And if you walk into that interview and say, look, I've never used Marketing Cloud before, but I can do a responsive email, I understand SQL, then you're actually you can't be more than 80% there, because Marketing Cloud's just a good wrapper around all that stuff, and it puts it together in such a creative way. But the base skills are highly transferable. So um, I'm just reading the comments there. SQL, HTML, CSS, AMP script. AMP script's a little bit harder. There is a snippets app where you can do that, and we'll share it in our weekly email, some of these links to how to get these other transferable skills. But yeah, don't be afraid to have a look at those things independently at Marketing Cloud, because That's what Marketing Cloud's made up of. There's no rocket science under the hood. There's no secrets there. It's just a big wrapper around all this good stuff. I wanted to add a comment about what you said before about asking questions. Sometimes I just open my mouth and just wonder what's going to come out. Sometimes I think you've got to be a bit that way. Just talk it through. Just be curious. I think is really important.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing to Yamini or someone else who is asking about instance. Just try to listen a number of times, without having an org. It's tough, I know, because I had gone through the same phase, but we don't know when the opportunity comes and knocks your door, right? So just be prepared with the concepts and, try to understand while you listen to them. Yeah, just attend these sessions. Nobody knows, right? If you can ask someone like this, and maybe some other group leader or some other technical person can offer you an instance. So it's just how you talk to people, how you show your resilience or persistence or consistency, whatever you say. Just try not to miss these sessions, because that has given me many things which I never expected.
So
I
what's
think
your
Mary.
role?
I was hoping I could give some insight. I'm Jean Marie. I'm came
Thanks,
to
Jean.
support Deborah.
Yeah.
I just have a couple of words of advice for people wanting to get into Marketing Cloud, because I was tasked to find somebody who knew Marketing Cloud, because the two Marketing Cloud people we had on staff were on leave. And I'm like, I don't know anything about Marketing Cloud. I don't want to do this. so, so we contacted consulting firms or contracting firms to find somebody that would fit what we were looking for. And what we were looking for, because it's something that I bring to the table too, is just an aptitude for learning and some sort of basic knowledge of what it was that technology wise, like Deborah brought in Salesforce. And then just the ability to be mentored and trained, which Deborah's like so hungry to learn and so passionate about what she's doing. As you can see, she's leading this class for you. You need to want it, because it is a lot. And she has that ability to break it apart and put it back together in a way that she understands it, because you learn in all different ways, right? So the other way that people could get into this is by job shadowing. So if you're currently in a job that has a marketing department that uses Marketing Cloud, and yet you don't have Marketing Cloud experience, I really, really want to encourage you to contact HR, whoever the leadership is, and say, I want to learn these skills so that I can bring them to the table for you. Can I job shadow? And like our company is very open to that. Not every company is, but in today's world where we're trying to, everything is technology, it's to our benefit to give Deborah, like we paid her as a contractor to learn. And it was worth it, because she's just a rock star. So we're really super happy that we did what we did, but we took a risk. We did. And you have to have an employer who's going to be willing to take a risk. And it was just Deborah's attitude, exactly what she said to you about those transferable skills that she brings to the table. She absolutely just blew me away. And I'm like, okay, you're my girl. Here we go too. So I encourage you, just like she said, confidence. She didn't know what she was doing, but she led me to believe that she did. But so just go for it. If you want it, go for it. And that's my advice, because no one can have Deborah but me.
Oh, thank you so much for calling in. You are awesome. Yes, she is my direct manager. So thank you so much for saying that. And I do have a great story. We had a team building assignment, and we had to use the red cups, the red solo cups, for the drinking cup, which we use that a lot. But we had to go in teams and stack them, and then everyone had a turn. And so after, when we were done, the person that led this exercise said, hey, if you were saying how great someone else did and how amazing that they were, feel free, if they're not even on your team, feel free to learn from them. So like Jean Marie said, like cross over and ask those questions and say, hey, how did you do that? And I thought that was such a great lesson.
Thanks, Jean. I just want to ask you one question. Do you find anything about volunteering opportunities in marketing?
Oh, but you mean to help with training people?
To help myself to learn Marketing Cloud
Ah,
or get
well,
familiarized.
our company is very highly regulated.
Mm,
So data sharing would
yeah,
probably not
I
be
know.
something we could do as a company. It is something if you want to put your name in with Debbie or myself, send me a message. We are always looking for even more backup to be if you're it doesn't matter if you're working, in a different country at this point. We do have people who support us in other regions, but possibly as something that we could work out if you're affiliated with another company, like a contractor, right? So if
Yeah,
you have a relationship with a contracting company who can farm out your abilities, it might be a possibility. I can't say for sure, but as far as volunteering, I don't think we would be able to do that. That's
yeah.
probably
But
But
I
what
thank
you
you.
bump up against.
Yeah,
but I
that's okay.
definitely would be able to help you and be able to like work with you even just without using the whole org, but being able to go over
Sure.
and practice things and stuff. So everything's possible.
Yeah, when
It
you
is.
ask.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
hard one. Even when you're on the platform, you've really got to have the relationship with Salesforce. And it's so true about the regulations, especially with data PII, and making sure that that we respect the customer's data as well. It's just so
Yeah,
important.
the data is highly confidential. So,
Yeah,
like, if you were going to look at something, say, for getting some experience, I'd turn to people in retail product sales, where it isn't as confidential. Which we're a financial services company, so it's a lot more
yeah.
strict
I,
on
I've done a lot of
rules.
Yeah,
work in banking and that, and it's just
Yeah,
it's just
just a
the
lot of
risk.
HIPAA stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
Even working on the platform, quite often you don't have access to the production data. It's just not
yeah,
something you see, and you've got to come up with strategies about creating data that's indicative of what would be in production. And there's
Yes.
challenges inside that as well. So
Yeah, and I love Kalen Moss, and he's even on here. He has projects, so I can work with you and we can go through his platform that he created, like a free class with projects. And so you're so amazing. Like you already know SQL and stuff. So I have so much to keep learning from so many people, including you. And so I can't wait to work with you and go through his program, and I can show you and we can go back and forth. You are way ahead of people that never heard of it. You have been a part of so much, so you're going to get a job soon.
I'm doing my job, but it's not in
Yes.
Marketing Cloud. But that
Yeah.
doesn't make me feel bad. But I'm learning so many things and I'm exploring new things. But the only thing is, I don't know. I'm not able to kill that curiosity towards Marketing Cloud.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and
the,
I will share his class too, a link to that. So we'll definitely work together on that.
Sure.
what you are doing though, Lakshmi, is that you're working as a functional consultant. Is that correct?
Associate
Um,
functional consultant.
Associate, okay, associate, but
awesome.
probably doing the work of a functional consultant. But the core of Salesforce, that's an
Mm,
important skill, but also marketing cloud.
absolutely.
The consulting skill, that's transferable skill, 100%.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely makes sense because when we have to sync the data from lead object of another, cloud. I have seen some people who doesn't know what is an object or what is a record or what is a URL ID, Salesforce record ID. But I have a better understanding over all those things. So yeah, I just want to add value. That's it.
Yeah,
It's not that.
yeah. But there we go with the jargon again, like objects, the tables, data extensions, object ID, subscriber ID, I guess, or primary key in Marketing Cloud. Like it's just terminology. Is Kalen going to hop on and share about this program that he's got put together? Kalen, are you there? Are you able to share more about what Deborah was talking about? Putting you on the spot, I know.
No, he doesn't scare, right? Like, he's happy to share and talk. Kevin, please come on. Unmute. No,
he's gone.
How do I come? Oh, I think he's not able to unmute himself, Matt.
Okay, let me see what I can do.
Kellen.
You go. Kalen, you're a presenter, mate, so you can unmute yourself and open your video if you like.
But just don't start sharing anything. I have to rush to.
Hello, Kalen. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I wasn't prepared to talk. I was just, be on the chat.
You don't,
Deborah, but I appreciate it.
no, you don't need any preparation, right? That's okay.
Right. Good thing I got a haircut. Presentable now.
That's okay.
But yeah, I appreciate it. So yeah, as Deborah was saying, I mean, there's, I think everybody has pretty much hit the nail on the head as far as what you can do to get access to Marketing Cloud. I think probably the best way to get access to the system is, as Deborah said, getting on there and really going through a Trailblazer, a Trailhead Academy course. I've been hearing more about those 60-day orgs and how you can join those for like $75. I think Salesforce is doing those more often. But I think that's probably one of the best ways. And then as far as getting access, now I would say there's probably 2 or 3 different routes you can take when it comes to Marketing Cloud as far as what your end goal is. So if your end goal is, getting a job, that's going to be different than getting a certification. So I know a lot of people, they come into at least my world, and I think, Matt, you mentioned this earlier. You probably get the question of how do I get access to Marketing Cloud at least once per week? I probably get that once per day, 5 times per day, probably. But I think the question becomes, what is your end goal? If your end goal is, do you want to get certified first, or do you want to go and land the job and then get certified? It's completely up to you, but I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. I can give you a recommendation, but I think that'll kind of determine which route you decide to take. Because as you know, like imagine you're studying for the SAT, for example. You really just need to know what's going to be on the test and practice and prepare for that. And as Matt, you said earlier, you need to understand the terminology. You need to understand exactly how campaigns work. You need to understand what if you need to use SQL versus data filters, when to use specific features. Now, personally, as the years have gone on, and since we kind of have this, gate in front of Marketing Cloud, my approach towards what you decide to do has changed. So this is what I say. I say, if you can't get access to Marketing Cloud and you're waiting to get in and you're just dead set on getting into a career in Marketing Cloud, but you don't have access, I would say just study for your first certification. And in doing that, you're going to learn these terminologies. You're going to understand when to use specific features over another one. As you're studying and understanding more about Automation Studio or Journey Builder, you're going to understand when to use one over the other. Why would you use an automation or, extract, transform, and load versus Journey Builder to send emails out and send text messages out? So I think, honestly, with that being said, there's a lot of resources to help you learn Marketing Cloud. As Deborah said, there's not as many resources to help you get access to it. But I'm not going to try to promote anything. I'm just going to say go to the Minute Admin YouTube channel and you'll find a lot of stuff on that. But there's still so many things. Like right now, I'm going through an AmpScript 30-day challenge. And I'm not even sure who that's by, but I've been reading every single one of them. And there's actually starting to be more things out in the community that you can start to sign up and learn the system more about. But hopefully that kind of answers that question as far as the different routes you can take and then the approach you want to take depending on that route. Lakshmi, you were saying that you're, gung-ho, focused, dedicated towards getting, a job in Marketing Cloud. So I would just say really, if you can't get access, just keep learning the system. So by the time, your chance comes, you understand when to use certain features, you understand what those features mean, and you can really implement those into different use cases. So I don't know if that was much help or not, but that's kind of my spiel on kind of getting access, even though the system's locked down. Hopefully that helps.
That's perfect. Thanks, Carla. Hey, there's been a couple of links shared on the chat, and we'll make sure to share those links when we share this video on YouTube and also in our weekly newsletter. We're almost at the top of the hour, and I just want to say this group meets just about weekly, not weekly, but almost weekly. And every month, at least once a month, we have a session like this. We've got one planned for next month. We've got a couple planned for July as well. And there's lots of recorded transferable skills. So the whole purpose of this is to share this knowledge that people are getting onto the platform have to demystify it. So please follow along with the group, follow along with these sessions. We've got coming up in the second half of this year where Share and Learn, where we're asking people to mentor people that are new to the platform and to do something with a voluntary organisation. So some practical skills. Now, it might be just something really simple like an email, responsive email in SQL, just to demystify it a little bit. But we've got those sessions coming up. We'll share a link for that in our weekly newsletter, which if you're subscribed, if you're here, you subscribe to the group so you do get that weekly email. Thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you so much, Kaylin. Sorry?
Could I offer one other advice I was talking to one of the people here on a different chat, and it reminded me that I came to the job I'm in right now 5 years ago with zero skills on the platform that I am working on today, which is called Workfront. I had zero skills, but I had all of those transferable skills that Deborah had. And I also had a referral from somebody who believed in me, who told the company, you need to hire her because she's going to learn it. And I'm very successful in what I do, but you find people who can refer you in and say, you have the aptitude, you have the passion, you can do it. And that's exactly what Deborah brought to the table. She reminded me of me coming into American Equity. They say, I didn't know anything. And I believed in her because I know exactly what she was going through. So sorry to go over your time, but I just wanted to share.
It's okay.
No,
So often
that really helps.
So often when we're hiring, we look at a person that we respect, even if it's ourselves, and we say, I want to replicate that, I want to do that again. And the other half of that is being findable. So if you want to be involved, you've got to be socially findable on LinkedIn or a blog or what Kaylin's doing. Kaylin, I didn't know about what you're doing until now. I now know because you're sharing, people know about you, and it's networking. And I feel like we should do a transferable skills with you or run some sessions on your blog because we're all learning. But if you're not active on social media, you're not writing, you're not sharing, then it's like you're under a rock and nobody's going to find you. So you've got to be findable. You've got to be sharing to be found.
I was going to say, I'd love to connect with you at Connections. Anyone who's going to Chicago, if you're going, let's meet up.
I unfortunately not. I'm in Melbourne. It's just too far away.
Well, I sent you a connection request on LinkedIn. So that's, like you said, meet up on social media. That's the power of it.
Yeah.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
love that you guys are from Australia. That's how, all these connections. I just reached out to him and congratulated him, and that's how I got connected with him because he was a Marketing Cloud champion, and so is Lakshima. So congratulations to both of you.
Congrats, Matt.
And and for Kalen, he was the one that I found when I was researching Marketing Cloud. He had, that energy that I could relate to. And then I was able to focus in on the confidence I needed to bring in my transferable skills to be able to admit, you know what, I, know Salesforce. I don't know Marketing Cloud as much, but I will dig in. And so he had that energy that I could carry into my interview. So if you ever watch him on YouTube, that'll help you on any interview.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Deborah. I don't want to
Yeah.
take over the conversation, but yeah, this is great. Honestly, I'm so glad that Deborah invited us here too. So, Matt, it's been great, and I appreciate. I'm still trying to figure out what everything. Do you have a link to anything else, Matt, that we can follow? You mentioned your blog or your newsletter.
Yeah, sure. So the Salesforce, I'm making an assumption that everyone's here because they belong to their chapter members. So the Marketing Cloud Dev Group's been going since 2013. I'll put the link here. We've got 2,500 members on the chapter. We've also got, and I've just put the link there, so please sign up if you're not already signed up. And we've also got 13,500 members on LinkedIn in our group there. So the session recording will be shared on YouTube. So if you go into Google and you type YouTube SFMCDG, Salesforce Marketing Cloud Dev Group, it'll come up and you'll see all our previous recordings. I'll put the link in there now for you. And I'll also share the link here now too for that. But yeah, definitely subscribe to the group. We've got a weekly email. It just wraps up everything that's happening on the LinkedIn group or the chat there. We'll get about 20 posts a week. They're always interesting. And it's always good to engage with there. I'll look up the YouTube now.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kalen. And you will be the host in the future sessions or the presenter. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd love to.
We will get in touch with you maybe after July 2nd week or so. We can plan it.
All right. That would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
I also want to say, when I was watching Kalen, he was learning developer skills, and he put himself out there for 50 days with his friend Thielen Thacker. And I was watching some of those sessions, and I was able to see the light bulb go off while they were learning. And I was like, you know what? Like, I can learn developer skills too. And so keep at watching some of those YouTubes. You just never know when your confidence level will go and say, I'm going to learn more developer skills, more software skills. I can do it. I saw his light bulb go off, and I understood at the moment what you were working on. And I think it was for loops, and I'm like, oh, I got that, but I'll have to go back when I'm ready to dig in on some of that. And I just am so appreciative of you guys putting yourself out there on YouTube, because it encourages everyone to just keep going further in your career.
Yeah, so I think that what I got from this conversation with everyone here is like, and Lakshmi, you mentioned it earlier, you asked the question, and I think it's just all about putting yourself out there. It's all about just, I think the biggest thing we struggle with imposter syndrome is we think we have to be perfect, but nobody's perfect. So it's just being able to say, hey, I don't get it, but you know what? I am going to learn. So, and that's what I was just willing to do. And I love that about you, Deborah. I love that about what I saw with you, Lakshmi, earlier, just now talking about, getting access. So it's all about getting out there.
I think we'll do a session in the future called All Our Greatest Mistakes, because everyone makes them.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
We are on the hour. We're a bit over it now, but thank you so much for
No,
sharing.
I just don't want to extend, but I told Deborah that we are going to take more than 1 hour yesterday itself, because I know this conversation is going to extend. There are so many things to learn from her conversation. I do enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. With that, we will conclude this round, and Kellen, we will see you in the future. And if anybody else wants to, come on the floor and just share, it's not about Marketing Cloud. It's about skills, what can, make you enter into any cloud or any CRM. It makes sense to us. So just come forward and talk to us. With that, I will close this day and I will join my day. I'm ready with my monitor and all the other setup. So with that, I will close today. Have a great day and great evening, Deborah. Thank you once again a lot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. See ya.